All right, Wolfpack, happy Tuesday. We are back again with some guesstimations here. Tomorrow is really just kind of meant to be more of a skill-based day, a little bit of kind of a cyclical recovery day. Clearly, the EMOM is not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but I wanted to put a day in here, kind of broke up some of the CrossFit-y workouts so that we weren't completely destroyed going into Friday. I know the last couple weeks I did my best to try not to make the workouts extremely destructive, but there were a couple that were very hard. So I hope this Tuesday is not the most fatiguing thing that we've done in a while. It gives you a chance to practice some different movements that we might see on Friday and feel decent leaving the gym, but also feeling like you got a good workout. So kind of trying to put some pieces together here for a little Tuesday fun workout. But we're going to start off with some handstand push-up practice since there's a very, very high chance we will see these on Friday, and they've toyed with two different kinds of handstand push-ups in the open, and I think it was a qualifier workout. It might have been from something else, but it might have been from the last year's quarterfinals where they actually added deficit handstand push-ups. So I wanted to give people a chance to work on some of those if they have them, and then I wanted to give people a chance who don't have handstand push-ups or struggle with them, a chance to work on them a little bit before they get thrown into a workout. So same thing as last week. Going to take about 10 minutes to practice handstand push-ups. This can be kicking up to the wall for the first time, working on your descent down to the mat, getting into a good tripod, working on the kipping motion. Okay, there's so many different things that you can work on. So grab a coach if you need some specific direction, or if you have. So this is a little different than the double unders, right? If proficient in handstand push-ups. So clearly, this can be a range of things for people, but our goal here is to work on a couple different handstand push-up movements that we don't always do in workouts, or I don't always program for the RX, right? The strict handstand push-up and the deficit handstand push-up are definitely more of your RX plus movements. They're far more technical, far more challenging, but they have been thrown in the open and been called regular RX. So I wanted to put them in here for people to have a chance to try them, work on them, maybe find some improvements. So this is just a little kind of stimulus round here with some different motions that they could put together that make sense for Friday's workout. So it's 2 to 3 rounds. It's meant for quality. It's not a Metcon. It's not meant for speed. You don't want to sacrifice movement patterns. We're working on feeling these together and perfecting these movements, so if they come Friday, we're comfortable. So 10 alternating dumbbell snatches. Clearly, this is not a very big set, so our goal here is just to work through the dumbbell snatch, find your breathing pattern, try to use as much of your legs as possible because all of the other motions are arm motions. So one, adding a little bit of fatigue to the bend and the midline that we would have for the kipping handstand push-ups, but also just kind of playing with some dumbbell snatches. Okay, working on the cycling motion. And then tough, strict handstand push-ups. Okay, this can be across the board for everybody. Some people probably do 10 to 15. Some people can do 1. Some people may need an ab mat. I just wanted to get some exposure to this movement in case it does show up and kind of people have an idea where they're at, what they can do if it does come up. So tough meaning, right, nothing that's overly fatiguing. We're getting as many reps as we can, maybe stopping a few reps short of complete failure or fatigue, and really working on the same positioning on the strict handstand push-up as your kipping, right? We see a lot of people when they do strict, sometimes their hands get behind their head. They end up in this weird behind neck press position, but your tripod should be the exact same. So as you come down, you should actually be able to see your hands in your peripheral vision, right? Meaning you're in this triangle press position, this tripod press position. You're going to be nice and strong from there. Okay, so even you got to add an ab mat to get these done. It's just still going to continue to better your handstand push-ups, even if we're doing these strict. Okay, so just do a few of those. 8 to 10 dumbbell cleans. This is kind of an aggressive count for dumbbell cleans. It should probably be more like 5 to 6, so that we're not overly fatiguing ourselves. But sometimes it takes you a few to get into rhythm and kind of figure out these motions. So if you want to cut these reps down a little bit, maybe 6 to 8 might be more appropriate. We don't want to overly fatigue ourselves. But remember, as we go down, we turn the dumbbells, just touch the top of the head so you don't have to go down as far. Kick those dumbbells all the way back until the head of the dumbbell is in line with the shoulder. So your elbows should be in this rack position. If they're down like this, it's not going to be an actual rep in the open. So practice good movement patterns on that. And then this is the beautiful one here, deficit handstand push-up. This is a pretty standard deficit for male-female. This is going to be off of a 45-pound plate, and this is going to be off of a 25-pound plate. Okay, so Clearly, it's a very, very big deficit, and the only way to do those or do these is to have an extremely good kipping motion, right? Which is where you bring your knees all the way down to your chest and you extend them as high as you possibly can, as hard as you can. So, if this deficit is too high, then go down a little bit, right? Maybe go 2 inches if you're male, or 1 inch if you're female, or even 1 inch if you're male. That's just a 10-pound plate, just to get some different exposures to these different deficits, okay? And again, tough set. Try to get as many as you can. Just work on some technique. I'm going to do 2 to 3 rounds of that. Okay. And the Metcon again, 20-minute EMOM. We mixed cyclical mixed with some shoulder overhead and some kettlebell swings because there was a kettlebell in there. Normally we would do cyclical first, but I wanted to do the cyclical after so that we have a little bit more opportunity to work on these movements not so destroyed. So this EMOM should be more about these movements and less about the machines. Okay, so again, anytime we do EMOMs, we need to make sure the work is not over 30 to 40 seconds. This should be the quickest of all the movements since it's just a dumbbell shoulder overhead. It's also first, that's why the rep counts are a little bit higher so we can get some good volume. So we need to choose 2 dumbbells that you can do this in no more than 1 set. Honestly, it should just be a 1 set, cranking out push presses, maybe you're cranking out push jerks, and then you're done. Okay, this should be the fastest of them all. Might be the most challenging for some, but since we're coming off a rest period, it should be pretty easy to get through. Okay, so we have lots of rest. Go to calories on the rower. Again, no more than 40 to 45 seconds on the rower. So pick your calories appropriate or stop right at that 40 to 45 second marker and hop off. Kettlebell swings here, 15 to 20. Again, should be unbroken, whatever weight we choose. So you're working on as the bell's coming down, you're inhaling. As you swing it all the way overhead, straight up and down, you're exhaling. And if you do 20 unbroken, you're going to be somewhere between 30 and 40 seconds. So it's going to push that time domain anyway, so just make sure you're smart with the rep counts. And then I put the assault bike last so you could get after it a little bit and then you get a little bit of extra rest after it versus doing it first and then being smoked for all of the other movements. Okay, so we do get that 5th minute rest. So this is only 4 sets total of these movements, but 4 minutes on, basically 1 minute off, so it is a lot to work. So just make sure that all of these are doable at about an 80% effort. You should be able to get through this EMOM relatively simply. Okay, other than that, have a fantastic Tuesday. See you in the gym. Bye.